Meet Nick, the man behind this beautiful CNC work. Today, I'm in Nick's shop and he's gonna show us how he makes these beautiful cutting boards, one-of-a-kind custom work, and how he's built a business around it. All right, so I'm here in your shop. Tell me how this all started. Let's say, when did it start, first of all?
Long story short, I started this from scratch with zero knowledge about CNC and about woodworking 5 years ago. So it's when I just came here, I decided to join to my brother's hobby and continue to work with wood and trying to build something beautiful.
Neat, neat. So you started this 5 years ago with no experience?
With no experience and in a smaller shop. It was just two-car garage. It's very tight place and we tried to put as much machines as we could. So yeah, we started from the smaller place, not like this one.
Awesome. The products that you make, tell us a little bit about the products you make.
So actually I got in this shop and I saw YouTube video when some people making cutting board with CNC, and I thought, yeah, it's kind of easy, I can do the same thing. And I decided to buy my first CNC and try to make some of them. And actually, here's where my journey started. So from buying CNC and to buying more machines, more CNC machines, and make more complex projects, more complex cutting boards.
I think it's how a lot of people start, right? Like whether they see inspiration somewhere and they're like, oh, I want to do that, or I want to try that, and then 5 years you stayed with it. Then 5 years later, now you're making beautiful pieces that you're sending all over the world. But you didn't start there.
Yeah, of course, I didn't start. I mean, when I just started, I didn't have any clients or any sources where I can sell. So I needed to discover how to work with YouTube, how to attract new clients on Instagram, and how to build my own website just to make purchasing process easier for my clients. So again, I started from scratch, and I learned not only about woodworking, I also learned about marketing and etc.
Yeah, and YouTube and social media and website and awesome. Tell us a little bit about this.
So it's a cutting board with standing samurai. It's made from walnut.
And 3 inches?
Yeah, it's a 3 inches, and the size of the board is 24 by 18 inches and 3 inches thick.
Jeez.
So yeah, and here I used 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I think 6 different type of wood. So yellow, it's a yellow heart. This is white oak. The armor, it's a white oak. The handle of katana, it's a dark cherry, and the belt is light cherry. So, and of course a maple, one of my favorite wood.
Yeah. Oh man. You said when you ship these, it's like almost 50 pounds.
Close to 50 pounds with package, yes.
It just shows you how strong I am. That's really cool though. So this was a custom piece. Someone came to you and said, hey, I want this, and you made it.
Yeah. Yep. So the request was to make a cutting board with the samurai with ready to bottle or in some bottle stands. And when we created this design, we used real pictures of real samurais. We bring some improvements. I mean, Bogdan, my artist who is working in our team, he helped me to bring this design.
You now have an artist that helps you with these designs. So these designs aren't, you didn't start here like we talked about, but now your designs are like, they are 100%, let's just call them natural and organic, and aren't copies of anything. Okay. They're just, you find inspiration from, like you said for this one, from real samurai pictures. And then have your artist draw the vectors.
That's correct. So in the beginning, I used to buy some vector files from Shutterstock and something like this. Then I found artists and we started working together. And for example, for this fish, I can do it by myself. I mean, I can't redraw everything by myself, but I will need to spend a lot of time. So Bogdan, he just know how to do it.
Yeah.
He did it right and fast.
Taking that design time down helps.
But still, after when he created the design, I need to work and readjust everything. So align lines, elements, and pieces, and make sure that everything will fit perfectly to the cutting board or somewhere.
Talk a little bit about where are, like today, where are most of your clients coming from? Like, how do they contact you? Where are you marketing and where are you finding your customers?
Most of my clients, they come from YouTube. Right now, I have more clients from Instagram just because Instagram, I'm not sure, they changed their algorithm. Yeah, so, and now to gain more views and attract more people much easier than it was before. I mean, when it was 5 years ago. So actually, 5 years ago, I got my first client through the Instagram. I just went through the Instagram and liked some pictures of random people, and they could see my work. And after that, I got first request to make a cutting board, and of course, it was cheaper than right now. So, but yeah, it was my first client. Right now, most of them come from YouTube or Instagram. So I'm trying to work with TikTok too, but it's kind of it's not different. I mean, I just need more time to spend for each platform.
Yeah, that's great.
By the way, I got new order.
You got an order right now. That's awesome. So, completely custom, and we're going to go over exactly what custom means to Nick and how he does that here in a second. So don't go anywhere. We're going to actually not just tell you what he's doing. We're going to show them how you're doing it as well. So stick around. But what are you selling a custom board for these days? What are your prices? How are you doing that?
So I would say my average price for the custom build is about $1,500, but it's average just because some of them cheaper, some of them more expensive. So, but recently I got 5 orders for the custom boards, and only one board will cost for clients $1,000. The rest of them for $2,000 each board. Yeah, it's kind of complex project. I mean, it's not fast, and I will need to work a lot to design and etc. But it's still very good order, and it's just beginning of the year. I got them in January.
So you've got this year. Right now, you've gotten 6 orders now because you just got one.
I don't know what is there, but yeah, it's definitely the order.
How many custom boards have you done in the 5 years? What would do you have an exact number or an estimate?
So roughly, I would say it's somewhere close to 250, maybe more, maybe less. Gotcha. But I mean, it's definitely more than 200. It's definitely more.
Definitely more than 200?
It's if we are talking about custom builds.
Yeah, just custom one time. You've done, let's just say over 200.
Yeah, over 200. Wow. That's definitely.
Wow, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And a lot of work.
A lot of work, yeah. So yeah, as I told you before, sometimes I worked like 3 months in a row without any day offs, and I could spend in the shop like 10 to 12 hours just to make cutting boards, to design them, and etc. I mean, it's a huge work, but I love it. So
walk us through a little bit of the design process as far as when a customer approaches you, what your workflow is.
I just got an order from Germany, and he requested to make a cutting board with the fish, and he asked me to use as many different type of wood for this cutting board. So, and it's kind of easy project. I mean, I just need to create vector file just because he sent me a picture, and then design and imagine different type of woods, how it will look on the board. So when the model will be ready, I will send it to him for approval. And if he approves it, I will start making the board. So it's the easiest process. Sometimes clients, they want, it's my favorite part when they came with just idea and say, you can do whatever you want. So one of my clients, he asked to make a cutting board for him and his brother with the forest beetle. And he just described the main idea what he's wanting. And the last part, I like it. He said, but you can do whatever you want. I will happy to have whatever you make. Yeah. So, I mean, it's really, I'm really grateful. Yeah, awesome. and I offered the design, and he really loved it. So I put a lot of meanings he asked me to put, and he loved this design, and me personally too. So it's my favorite part when clients, they just give me freedom to action.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. There's nothing like someone recognizing your talent and paying you for it and saying, I trust you, do what you do.
Yeah.
Here's the idea, do what you want.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
That's like a perfect scenario.
I would call it the perfect client.
Yeah, the perfect client. Like me.
Yeah.
I'm the perfect client. Do you mind showing us around the shop?
Yeah. I mean,
and showing us just your tools. I know the audience would probably love to see what you're working with now. And maybe we can talk a little bit about where you started.
Okay.
And kind of, obviously you didn't have all of these tools at the very beginning. Yeah. It was a progression. But yeah, let's show us around and.
Yeah, I mean, there is nothing fancy. It's just regular, messy garage or shop, workshop.
I think it's cool. So this was your first, wasn't your first CNC? You told me you had another one prior.
Actually, we had the cheapest, and I mean, if you will scroll down my Instagram, you will see my first CNC. And it was awful, and then I decided something wrong with that CNC.
Did you say it was like $600?
Kind of,
yeah,
or even cheaper. I thought that I can make beautiful pieces with this cheap CNC, and now I understand. Yes, actually, I mean it's real challenge to use cheap CNC and to produce some really high quality product. Yeah. So and then we decided to buy this machine. This is Axiom. It was Axiom. Right now we completely rebuilt this.
Yeah. So this is a modified.
It's modified.
Modified Axiom.
I modified it. I mean, yeah, I changed all of the stepper motors.
All the stepper motors.
Yeah.
You beefed it up. You made it a much more rigid machine. So let's go see what other CNCs he has. All right. So this Avid 2x2 machine is actually your newest machine.
Yeah.
And so that one is a good size, but it can only have one project on it at a time.
Yeah, I mean, I bought this machine for smallest projects. So for my most common cutting board size, it's 19 by 12 by 2 inches thick. So it fits perfectly and it works very well. So yeah, for bigger projects, I have Stepcraft.
It's currently making something that you'll have to wait to see what it is. But we're working on a project while this is all happening. I designed it, and it's the best. It's the best cutting board.
It's the best way how to learn do cutting boards. So we spent here like 1 hour to design your cutting board, approximately. For more complex boards, I can spend like a day or the entire week. So it's very dependent on design, and sometimes I just can create something and I don't like it. If you want, I can show the board just with simple design. Yeah, for example, this is simple design, nothing special about that. But I spent 4 hours just to make layouts, what I really like. I mean, and it seems this is really nothing special about the design, but I still spent a lot of time just to make a layout.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it.
So when he says there's nothing special to it, it is very special, because look how beautiful this is. And this is just a test, by the way.
Yeah, it's a test cutting board.
It's just a test. Absolutely beautiful. But what you mean by simple is it's repetitive. Yeah. There's not a bunch of layers. There's just one inlay layer going here.
Yeah.
Not how many layers was your biggest project? The house was like 17. I'll let you tell them.
House contains 1,700 elements. I mean, actually, it's a bit more. I just can't remember the exact numbers. But there was 11
layers.
I can't remember.
Yeah,
so I just did too many boards, and I remember all of them. One of the complicated board, it was with the tiger and sakura, and the elements on its face, there was too many elements, and I needed to combine them and split in a different way, and it took me a lot of time just to understand and split it correctly, that you'll fit everything perfectly.
All right, so one thing that caught my eye when we were walking around the shop is this.
Yeah, it's a clamp station.
Explain a little bit what's going on here.
So it's basically it's a clamp station to glue my boards up. When I just started, I use regular pipe clamps.
Yeah, you got your. That's what caught my eye. You had your pipe clamps.
I still use them when I glue some blanks for the inlay, but this station is much more convenient to make cutting boards. So
the first thing I learned today when I walked in is about face grain and end grain. And I know it's like second nature to you, but for me and for someone that doesn't do V-cars day in and day out, explain the difference between face grain and end grain and what differences you get as far as your end result.
Sure. For me, it's the biggest difference. It's a fiber direction. So end grain, the fibers go up. And when we mill, the rotor bit just go around them. And there is almost zero chance to get chips or something like this.
The little fine details chipping out, you don't have that with...
I don't have any problems with end grain, but for face grain, just because the fibers goes in the different directions and they goes kind of across the rotor bit, it's much easier to get these chips and tear your piece apart. My first inlay I just put some weight. Okay. And I noticed that, first of all, I used 60-degree rotor bits.
Okay.
So, and I put some weight, like maybe 20 pounds or 30 pounds to my inlay, and I didn't get very good result. I understand that I need more pressure.
Yeah.
So I went to Harbor Freight and bought some cheapest bottle jack press. I mean, like a metal frame and nothing special. So I just slightly adjusted for my needs. I mean, I rebuilt it slightly, and then I started using it. And when my business is growing and I'm getting more and more orders and boards become bigger and bigger, so I just needed to build another press. And again, there is nothing special. It's just metal frame and bottle jack.
But you're saying that that's kind of, you told me, I don't know if I'm allowed to tell them, that's kind of your special weapon. Like, to get good results is really getting that plug into that base, is applying, press-like pressure.
Yes, and yes and no. Yeah. Just because, as I told you before, there is a bunch of nuances, I mean, with work with inlay. So press, for me, it's a necessity. For people who can adjust their parameters more precise, or they don't need to make it super tight, they can use just clamp or clamps. So they can make whatever they want. Yeah. But my preference is to use press. It's just more convenient, more faster way to make inlay kitten boards.
That's great.
What do you say we get started on this project and you can keep teaching me your ways?
Yeah. I just use this clamp system. I mean,
yeah, I like that.
It's fast and it's hold very well.
Yeah, I like that. So you just have PVC pipe on the edges, and then you're just using these to drive it. That's really...
It's fast. I mean, it's hold very well, and I'm not afraid to accidentally run my CNC through the PVC pipes. I mean, it will not hurt any bits or anything.
So your waste board is just 1/2 inch, 3/4, 3/4 inch MDF, and then you just have the patterns.
Yeah.
The pattern, you just drill all these or mill all these, and then is this 1/2 inch or 3/4 PVC?
It's 3/4.
3/4. Yeah, that's really slick. I like that. I like work holding that doesn't move. All right, we'll do this one. Never trust a skinny chef. Where you at, Jelly Bean? Sometimes they put them at the bottom. J, there it is. Boom. All right. So now, stacked wise, I wonder if we should do never trust and then a skinny chef. So when you first started doing this, how long did you have any experience with Vectric, or did you like designing or anything like that?
No.
So just right from the beginning, you just kind of jumped in?
From scratch. So I even didn't know how to run CNC. So, I mean, I started from zero.
And how many years ago was that?
5 years ago.
5 years ago.
Yeah.
So we started basically almost at the same time.
Yeah.
6 years ago, I got my first CNC.
Yeah, and I was really frustrated or confused. I mean, I didn't know. So I thought that when I buy a CNC, I will make beautiful stuff immediately. I mean, beautiful projects immediately. But it was my first disappointment, about CNC. I mean, you need to learn how to work with CNC. So it's not easy. It's easy and not easy. I mean, there's two sides.
Right. I think it's easy for what it is.
Yeah.
Because it's a very complicated thing.
Yeah.
But there's a learning curve, and then there's little nuances.
A lot.
Yeah.
A lot, and it's an endless process. I mean, you always need to learn.
Yes.
So.
Yeah.
To learn how the wood will behave in a different situation. I mean, in a different feed rates, speed rates, RPMs, and etc. Phase grain, end grain. You need to learn everything.
There's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
I like what you do though, like, because everybody has a vision in their mind. Like, I want it to look like this.
Yeah, and sometimes we have different visions. Just because in my mind, the picture should look like this one.
Yeah.
In client's mind, it should look in a different way. Usually I'm exceeding their expectation, and the last client, I got a very interesting order and I really wanted to make. And that person is I respect that person, And I really wanted to make the design, and I offered 500 discount. So the board usually costs 2,000, and I offered 500 discount just because I really wanted to make this board. And when I sent him design, he sent me a message back that you exceed my expectation. I will pay you 2,000 and it's non-negotiable. Yeah, I'm really proud of that. Yeah. I mean, it's great that some clients, they're willing to pay even more, even after I offered them some discount.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I love that. Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I mean, it's my problem too. Even when my brother helped me to do the work, I mean, I still need to film the process, design, talk with clients. I mean, there's
it's just too much for one person.
Yeah. And actually, what happened last year, I just burnt out.
Yeah.
I mean, I worked like 3 months in a row without day offs, and I worked like 10 to 12 hours per day. I mean, I was very overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I mean, I really burned out, and I stopped posting any video or posting any content on Instagram. I couldn't.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that such a thing exists, like burning out. Now I know.
Yeah, I've been there. I know Andrew's been there too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Usually, I mean, when I get a new rotor bit, I need to run mill test just to make sure that my inlay will fit perfectly. So since this new bit, what we can do, I can just run the pocket. So mill the pocket, and then before we will mill the plug, I will need to run mill test to make sure that everything will fit perfectly without any gaps, without anything. I mean.
So you spend a lot of time cleaning them, don't you? Like cleaning it out?
Not pocket, the
plug.
Yeah, the plug. Just because you need to clean it, so you can't cut parts here, but you can cut some corners on the plug. You need to cut them and clean. Actually, you need to clean both parts, but clean pockets it's much easier for some reason because of type of wood, I don't know, than plug.
Thank you so much for having us in your shop today and taking the time to teach me what the heck a proper inlay is.
You're very welcome, and I'm always happy to see you here. So anytime you want to do something with me or create some design, you're very welcome.
That's awesome. We need to do that. We'll take a little more design time next time. If you want to learn more about V-cars and how to do them properly, you put together something that can help people that want to do this.
Most common question to me is what is your parameter? And there is no constant numbers. For different bits, you need to use different numbers for the inlay. And I created my own small, short video course where I'm explaining how to find proper parameters. So as you noticed, you know that I'm working with 12.4 degree rotor bits. but you brought your own rotor bit. So, and we found proper parameters for your rotor bit, and we using it for your project.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a course about the numbers. It's only about the numbers. It's not full tutorial where I'm showing the entire process how I'm making the boards. So just because it's for most people it's obvious part. But most confusion part for them, it's numbers.
Finding that tight fit and how to find proper parameters.
Yeah.
I learned so much about that today. Thank you. You've got a system down that is like, like you do this and then you adjust and then you do this, and that's fantastic. So I brought ANDYBIRD bits today, and we made this project all with ANDYBIRD bits.
Yeah.
And we took the time to find those parameters for my specific bits. So if you're interested, there'll be a link in the description for you to check out Nick's course and pick up some ANDYBIRD bits. Thank you again for having us.
Yeah, you are very welcome.
And thank you for watching. If you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.
Bye.